an ambivert and someone with ADHD, networking events are basically my personal version of hell. So when I have to go networking anyhow, here's 3 things that I do to make sure that I will be most successful with the time that I'm investing. First and foremost, I have to remind myself that most events are not set up like our events are. So there are not going to be prompts and conversation starters threaded throughout the event to help make sure that I have an easy ingress to talk to these people. First and foremost, stop handing out business cards. If you're watching this video, I'm making the assumption that you probably got ADHD, so let me be straight with you. You're just gonna lose the card. If you absolutely cannot get over this idea of collecting business cards, at the very least have 2 pockets in the pants that you go in, so you can put general business cards you don't need to follow up with in one pocket, and cards that you do need to follow up with in the other. Also make sure that you have a pen so you can write down notes on the business card right then and there so you know what to follow up with the next day when you get back to the office. But if you're like me and you're realizing, oh wait, yeah, business cards are probably not the smartest use of my intellectual energy, then here's an alternate option for you. We've all started to hear about these digital business cards coming out, and you're welcome to use them or not. Some of them seem to be a lot more glitchy than others and require a little bit of a learning curve to be able to use effectively. So my personal favorite is simply to grab my phone, pull up the contact card, hand it to them, and tell them to put their contact information into the phone right then and there. Once they finish, I take the phone back. I usually add a quick note like met at X networking event, save the contact, then I take a screenshot and I email it to myself. I've done this enough times that it takes only a few seconds for me to be able to knock this out. With that email to myself, I'll put in a couple of notes about follow up with, add to CRM, etc., 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 just to make sure that I get that taken care of the next day when I get back to my inbox. Trust me, I don't miss giving out business cards and I don't miss getting business cards. Secondly, make sure you know your elevator pitch forwards and backwards. And by forwards and backwards, I mean make sure you know the pieces that comprise your elevator pitch, not necessarily just having a script that you've memorized word for word. There needs to be a quick introduction, there needs to be a quick overview of what you do, and then you need to turn the conversation back to letting them talk. This is one of the most important pieces that I think most people forget when it comes to networking events. They start going in and trying to talk, and that's where we start putting the stress on ourselves. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a writer and I really like having the chance to script out and write out what I want to say to people. So being able to actually remember that I don't have to do a ton of talking, give my elevator pitch, and then let them talk and listen goes a long way for alleviating that anxiety for me. One of the most important things that I learned to do going into any networking event is to have what I call a back pocket question. This is a question that I can pull out that is pretty much a guaranteed conversation starter. Now, here's the key. My back pocket question tends to change based on what's going on. So if I'm feeling a little bit spicy, I might grab something that is related to politics. If I am not really interested in getting down that road just at that moment in time, I may grab something pertaining to the weather, which I know can sound really mundane, but if you're actually really excited about your back pocket question and why we had hail in the middle of the summer, because that's super unusual, and the climate effect that happened with the whatever, that can actually be a really cool back pocket question, which can get people engaged and interested in what you're doing. When the latest Stradivarius violin was founded, that was one of my back pocket questions because it allowed me to relate things back to the business. So I had oh my God, did you hear they found a new Stradivarius violin in my back pocket at every event I went to? And it instantly branded me as the violin chick, which was not a bad thing. And as a bonus, here's a quick reminder. Pretty much everyone else wants to be in this room about as little as you do. Most people are anxious, uncertain, and nervous about networking events just like you. So remembering that there is at least one other person in the room who is just as anxious, unsettled, and unhappy about having to be at this networking event as you are can go a long way for alleviating that anxiety about it. So just look around the room, find the person who's hiding at the back of the room, walk over and be like, hey, kindred spirit, I'm Stephanie, nice to meet you. If you found this helpful, this channel is all about tips and tricks for surviving and thriving as an ADHD entrepreneur, both personally and professionally. Hit the follow button and ring the bell to make sure you're getting notifications.